Welcome in, everybody, live here to the Booty Scoot Racing channel on the TikTok platform, then located over to the YouTube page. We're getting ready to go racing here tonight at the oh-so-great home of racing, the Charlotte Motor Speedway here in Charlotte, North Carolina, for the KnappDaddyRacing Gen-6 Cup Series. Race number 2 of 12. 2 weeks ago at the Kentucky Speedway, we kicked things off, and let me tell you something, it was one hell of a battle at the Kentucky Speedway in the Bluegrass State with the Hillbillies. Now we're back up here in North Carolina, the home of racing, where NASCAR cuts its teeth. The ZMAX stand is up and lit up. We're getting ready to go racing here tonight around this 1.50 mile length oval, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Put you down here on the main broadcast cam. Welcome in to the Booty Scoot Racing channel, and ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be one hell of a show here tonight for the New Year's Bash. We're counting down the minutes and hours until the ball drops here tonight. We're getting ready to go racing though here, and you got about, looks like going to be about 12 cars shaking out the field here tonight, looking for a chance to go to victory lane. And looks like the qualifying results are ready to go, and they're up and moving, ladies and gentlemen. On the pole here tonight will be the kid, driver the number 02 from Wilford, South Carolina, of Nicholas Maynard. It looks like these guys are going ahead and locking in, getting ready to go racing here tonight. And jumping in these race cars, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for it, you found it. The place to go racing here tonight, live on the Booty Scoot Racing channel on the New Year's Bash. Counting down the time to go racing, counting down the time to a brand new, freshing race year. And ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and tell you something. As the commissioner and owner here of the Booty Scoot Racing channel, got tons of new ideas coming your way. Get ready to go racing here tonight in Charlotte. We'll go ahead and get tonight's driver introduction portion started. On the pole here tonight from Wilford, South Carolina, the 23-year-old from Wilford, South Carolina, driving the PPG Ford Mustang, Nicholas Maynard. Sharing the front row on the outside, driving the Red Bull Ford Mustang, the number 13, the winner 2 weeks ago off the disqualification of Colin Cole. It's going to be Jonathan Smith. Starting in the third place spot here tonight, second row, the Powerade number 15 Ford Mustang. That's Holden Wheeler. Starting in the fourth place spot here tonight on the second row, driving the Hendrick car, Stacon number 57 Chevy from Park Ridge, New Jersey. That's the Season 2 TNA Madness Racing League Truck Champion of Jerry Powers. And behind him will be the number 9 CK Chevy from Lincoln, New Hampshire. That's Colin Cole, and 2 weeks ago, Colin Cole won the race at the Kentucky Motor Speedway, but aggressive driving led him to be disqualified. The race was given to the second place driver, Colin Cole, looking to redeem himself here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And on the inside of him will be the number 23 Ford Mustang Gorilla Mind Machine of John Michael Bryant. The boogeyman coming in here tonight, part-time driving on the New Year's Bash, and he's out here trying to get your mom ready to go for next year, ladies and gentlemen. Driving the number 45 U.S. Coast Guard Chevy Camaro from Newark, New Jersey. That's Tim Powers. And on the outside of him will be the number 33 Alpha Pine Stars Racing Chevy Camaro. That's the Home Run Cafe owner of Tony Cook. And behind him, driving the 777 from Arnersville, Georgia. Getting ready to go racing here tonight. He won a race here in the Gen-6 Cup Series in Season 1. That's the old-timer, Bobby Kyle. And on the inside of him, we'll start shotgun tail end of the field here tonight after his actions taken 2 weeks ago at the Kentucky Motor Speedway from Troy, Alabama. That's going to be Terry Hughes Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to go racing here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We're glad you chose here tonight to watch it all unfold here. And we'll bring up tonight's keys of the race as we get ready to take on this beautiful 1.5 mile oval. 110 laps here tonight, 2 sets of tires, very simple. Keys of the race, you're going to fight hard all day long, trying to score as many points as possible. Save those Goodyear rubbers. And finally, the fuel mileage here tonight is going to be 34 to 36 laps of Sunoco Racing fuel inside of these Gen-6 Cup cars. We're getting ready to go racing here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, the home of racing. They're headed down the back straightaway, getting ready to roll through your living room. The lights are off on top of the base car here for the New Year's Bash. Nicholas Maynard's on the pole here with Jonathan Smith to the outside of them. They will lead them to the green flag here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. You look, you're loaded, you're looking for it, getting ready to fly. The oil is getting ready to go flying through the cams and the motors and the roval, all that great shit here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're loving what you're seeing, make sure you clap your hands, stomp those feet, light another beer, grab another cigarette. Green flag is in the air here for the New Year's Bash live at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Nicholas Maynard will be in control here to start the race. Green flag is in the air, chasing down in the turns 1 and 2. They'll climb the banking down at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, head off the exit of turn 2. It'll be Maynard moving up to the outside with Wheeler and Jonathan Smith door to door there for the second row. Nicholas Maynard slide down on the bottom side of the racetrack. And we're working lap number 1 here in the iRacing platform at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Side by side for the second place spot will be holding Wheeler and Jonathan Smith. Green flag is in the air. Lap number 1 is in the book, and the kid of Nicholas Maynard is out front here in North Carolina. Side by side here. This battle's not going to go nowhere. Jerry Powers puts the gas down. He's looking to plug the hole down on the bottom side of the racetrack, but John Michael Bryan will fill it up above him down the back straightaway. Single file here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Tony Cook looking down here on the bottom side of the racetrack. And ladies and gentlemen, the topic here tonight, as the sun continues to fade away here, we got a ton of blue ovals out here in the field, and sunset begins to cover the racetrack, starting to cool it off here. How will these cars maintain their handling condition here tonight? Will they hold on? Will guys begin to get loose, tight, holding Wheeler? Looking down to the bottom side of the number 02 Team Penske development machine of Nicholas Maynard off the exit of turn 2. Headed down the back straightaway here in Charlotte. Everybody just trying to hold on to these race cars, get the air pressures back up into the tires here after coming off the qualifying session just a moment ago. Ladies and gentlemen, you're working lap number 3 here in Charlotte, the home of America's racing. Live on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the Madness Racing League Gen-6 Cup Series. The Boogeyman is going to pull door to door here with Jerry Powers. But this is going to be the battle for the 4th place spot. We'll keep our camera right here. John Michael Bryan trying to close down on the bottom side of Jerry Powers. Jerry Powers is going to have to maintain and handle that condition here all night long. It's John Michael Bryan, the 23 machine, a part-time driver. Jerry Powers racing for the championship here full-time on the season. He'll look down low to the left side of the number 23 of John Michael Bryan. These two guys, that settle their battle back there for that 5th place spot on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Meanwhile, Nicholas Maynard's able to hold off the race lead over Holden Wheeler. He'll lead another lap here in Charlotte down the banking of turns 1 and 2. The PPG Ford Mustang quite good looking down on the bottom side of the racetrack. But Holden Wheeler's got a ton of momentum off the exit of turn 2. He'll look to make the move around Nicholas Maynard. He'll look down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Can Holden Wheeler get the dash down here through turns 3 and 4 and close up that gap? Nicholas Maynard tied up the racetrack right there. 2 blue ovals battling it out for the lead in Charlotte. Celebrating the brand new year, and hopefully you're going to get your shit together this year and finally start doing the shit you say you're going to do. It's been the same shit every year, and you know it. Ladies and gentlemen, though, you'll find guaranteed racing here each and every single year on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Jerry Powers will switch to the bottom lane now, trying to get out from behind the boogeyman of John Michael Bryan, who keeps feeding that dirty air, but he sees that blue oval 02 machine of Nicholas Maynard ripping the top side of the racetrack. The kid in jeopardy of losing a race lead here to Holden Wheeler. Battle across the front straightaway down in the turn 1. 9 people tuned in live here right now on lap 7 of the New Year's Bash of the Madness Racing League Gen-6 Cup Series. And we totally gladly appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. Look at this side-by-side battle as you tune in. Hopefully the more guys that tune in, the more these guys turn up in another notch. John Michaels Bryant door to door with John Smith. The two Johns are going to have to figure it out. And whoa, Jerry Powers will plug a spot back down on the bottom side of the racetrack. They're working back across the front dog leg. The battle for the race lead still under condition here. John Michael Bryant in jeopardy of losing that 3rd place spot. Wheeler rips the top side of the racetrack. Can he get the run to clear the 02? You damn betcha. Holden Wheeler jumps out of the race lead here on the Madness Racing League live at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Holden Wheeler still looking for that first Madness Racing League win here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He'll try down on the bottom side of the racetrack, and not sure if they put an extra pint of Powerade inside of that Sunoco race fuel or what, but he is jetting off to the race lead here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, out to about a 2.2 lead here. And John Michael Bryan will plug down the hole down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Everybody, you can pretty much throw a blanket over there for the 2nd through 8th place position. Riding around here with Tony Cook, driver of the number 33 Chevy Camaro. Tony Cook still looking for his first Madness Racing League Gen-6 Cup Series. And ladies and gentlemen, don't want to get you confused. If you ever go to the YouTube page located on the top right portion of your screen, we have all of the full races posted there for the previous past races live on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Jerry Powers pulling door to door here with Jonathan Smith. He'll battle hard for this fourth place position, down on the bottom of the banking here through turns 1 and 2. Jonathan Smith, though, will not be denied here. He's not going to give up this spot to Colin Cole. Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Smith smacks the outside safer barrier there. He'll pull door to door, though, with Jerry Powers. John Michael Bryant tied up the racetrack, 2 turns 3 and 4. Should have put that down on one of the keys of the race here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not known, if maybe you don't even get the privilege or the curiosity to be able to come to North Carolina to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, I've been here tons of time in my life, and the turn 3 and 4 entrance is built on the opposite side. If you look down the back straightaway here, really can't get a great look here. Lies if we can't throw it up to the spotter cam here. Whoa, big guys down loose on the bottom side of the racetrack. Goes Jerry Powers. You're live up here in the spotter cam. They're going to have to get each other to figure it all out here. Look at the momentum getting checked up there to the back half of the field. That's 5th, 6th, and 7th. Meanwhile, Nicholas Maynard's clear himself out here to the second place spot. He's got to set on a mission here and try to run down the number 15 of Holden Wheeler. Nicholas Maynard was our pole sitter here tonight, and he's lost that race lead. He'll try to the outside of the racetrack here through turns 1 and 2. Flying down the back straightaway here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. If you see down there in the back straightaway, folks, here behind the big cam there, that is a landfill. In turns 3 and 4, they're side by side for the race lead. Nicholas Maynard wants it back, and there's a huge fat bump over there through turns 3 and 4. They're going to have to manage that all night long. It'll really knock these race cars out of the groove, get you really tight up the racetrack, maybe make you burn up a little bit of Goodyear rubber that you maybe don't want to. Meanwhile, here we're back out on the racetrack looking down on the action here. I'll continue to rattle my cage, and that is AKA my lips, my flapper, and I'll keep flapping my gum here. Trying to make things interesting here. We're only single file at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, America's home of racing. And if you didn't tune in 2 weeks ago, it was one hell of a Gen-6 season opener at the Kentucky Speedway, the Bluegrass State. John Smith tied on the racetrack. Contacts made with the boogeyman of John Michael Bryant. Never mind, that's Jerry Powers here in this number 57 machine. And listening down here on the radio, Jerry Powers will apologize to the driver chat there to John Michael Bryant, so no harm, no foul, but we'll have to work off the number 9 here of Colin Cole. And we'll switch back here to what we were getting ready to say. Colin Cole, driver of the number 9 Chevy Camaro here tonight. Went to victory lane at the Bluegrass State 2 weeks ago at the Kentucky Motor Speedway. We'll pull it up here from Lincoln, New Hampshire. But the driving aggressively all the way up through the field there on the green-white checker. He had put 2 cars around, and in the fence there, they called Colin Cole to the Madness Racing League Infield Truck Center, and to have a conversation with Colin Cole, they sat him down and explained him that was just going to be an absolute no-go. If they're going to win it that kind of way on the strategy that they had that night, they're going to have to earn it the correct way. There's no reason that bumpers needed to be laid to each other there in that overtime. Colin Cole had the win taken from him, and it was given to the number 13 of Jonathan Smith, who works right there in that Red Bull silver chromed out machine. And Jonathan Smith will be a part-time driver here on the Gen-6 Cup Series, but he has the first win here on the Season 3. Unfortunate to the events here, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. I'm starting to see over there in turns 1 and 2 that shadow starting to come in here. And ladies and gentlemen, look at John Michael Bryant trying to hold off that number 9 now of Colin Cole. And everybody getting hugely loose off the corner. Terry Hughes Jr. Big loose there in this, blue DEF. That's diesel exhaust fluid, if you didn't know that. And if you're driving a diesel these days that takes diesel exhaust fluid, you're probably a pussy, or your vagina swells up very bigly when you have intercourse, if you know what I mean. 17 laps into tonight's New Year's Bash live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Just jitting and jattering. Terry Hughes Jr. would love to see victory lane here tonight. It's his first time it would be winning a race here in the Madness Racing League. When I tell you on the back half of so many second place finishes for this number 81 team of Terry Hughes Jr., I would just be lying to you. Terry Hughes Jr., just gets it done each and every single week, but it's always somebody else's mess rolling across the front bumper of Terry Hughes Jr., this number 81 machine. And right now, if I'm Terry Hughes Jr., I'm just watching this battle shake out in front of me of Jerry Powers and Colin Cole for the 5th place spot, and letting these guys eat up a little bit of Goodyear rubber. Colin Cole's on a mission. He'll look down on the bottom side of the boogeyman. How will John Michael Bryant play it back into the banking of turns 3 and 4? And you see everybody really have to stay side by side. You have no other choice, because if you try to put the gas down, John Michael Bryant, whoa! We'll get up at the gas there. Colin Cole will complete the slide job there. That'll be the battle for the 4th place spot, and we'll look back up here with the battle for the race lead starting to shake back up between 3 different drivers. Holden Wheeler has the race lead on the top side of the banking. Nicholas Maynard here in the second place spot, our pole sitter here tonight. Whoa, he'll slap the outside safer barrier off of turn 2, and there he goes, Terry Hughes Jr. He'll get the outside safer barrier as well, so maybe that's going to be one of our key factors here tonight. Maybe the Goodyear rubber's not going to be so great to the drivers here. Are they going to be able to hold on to their race cars? Jonathan Smith did his number 13 Red Bull machine and rolled all the way up here to the 3rd place spot. He's getting out of the gas really early down here in the turn 1. Let's take a listen. Really able to make up the distance there to the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. We'll watch this down the back straightaway, battling into the banking of turns 3 and 4. And Holden Wheeler is going to love what he's seeing in his mirror. Nicholas Maynard will get pulled door to door now with Jonathan Smith. And Jonathan Smith's going to have to hold on to that race car on the outside. He does just that. He'll get the momentum to go with it. And he'll complete the pass around the kid of Nicholas Maynard. It looks like everybody else will make it through the field as well. Meanwhile, we'll pull back here. It looks like Bobby Kyle, whoa, battling a little bit of an internet connection issue. Bobby Kyle turns the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time around from Arnorsville, Georgia. The 777 Select Chevy Camaro went to victory lane right at this very racetrack in Season 1 that we did here in the Gen-6 Cup Series. And how did that happen, you may ask? Green flag pit stops were the topic that night. If I remember correctly, Bobby Kyle in his driver interview, I specifically remember him saying, Bobby Kyle being up in age, Bobby Kyle 64 years old here, guys, and getting ready to switch over to the year 2026 here any minute now. And the time winding down, depending on what time you're watching the replay on the live stream on the TikTok channel. John Michael Bryant trying to defend his position around the 64-year-old of Bobby Kyle. Bobby Kyle said he was looking for a brand new year. He's going to bring a ton more speed coming in next year. But Bobby Kyle said that year when he went to victory lane earlier in 2024 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, Bobby Kyle said his age and him not being as fast as many guys out on the racetrack, some of these young bucks like Colin Cole and Jerry Powers, who find just a little bit more speed naturally just in age. Bobby Kyle said him being a little tad bit slower off the pace saved him enough Sunoco Racing fuel that night to go to victory lane. In the 777 said he's going to try possibly to do the same thing here tonight. Right now, though, Bobby Kyle, big time tight on the bottom of the racetrack through turns 3 and 4 right there. You've seen him collect the bottom side of the paint. He'll lose touch to the front bumper of John Michael Bryant here. If he can hold on to that draft, pull himself back up here, he'll see the battle here through the windshield of Jerry Powers on the top side and Terry Hughes Jr. down on the bottom. The Blue Def Machine 81 of Terry Hughes Jr. trying to make something shake. Our race leader, Holden Wheeler. Big loose down the back straightaway. He'll slap the outside safer barrier. Jonathan Smith has made quick work around Nicholas Maynard and put a gap in between them. A quarter of the way almost complete this time around. We're 25 laps completed live here on the New Year's Bash on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll throw you down here on the main broadcast cam for tonight's First Madness Racing League. Fast and loud. here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Madness Racing League Gen-6 Cup Series New Year's Bash, live here on New Year's Eve at the TikTok platform at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. You're looking out on the battle for the race lead here, getting ready to go and complete lap number 29 this time around, excuse me. And whoa, that's kind of a tongue twister. This time on lap 29, ladies and gentlemen, I'm all over the place here tonight, and I've not been drinking, I promise. Just because it's New Year's don't mean everybody partakes in your shenanigans. Holden Wheeler has committed, though, to the top side of this racetrack, and he has ripped and cleaned it out there. He has made himself moving out there, putting down some absolutely burning lap times right now all over the number 13 of Jonathan Smith. Jonathan Smith just can't quite get back to that back bumper to Holden Wheeler. And ladies and gentlemen, this could be one hell of a finish here, and we got green flag pit stop slowly approaching us. I'm hearing from the admin in my ear right now, and this is possibly why we're seeing everybody starting to become single file spaced out. 34 to 36 laps of Sunoco Racing Fuel. What's the call on the keys of the race on how much laps that these guys could go on fuel before they had to go down and service these race cars? So we'll see how guys continue to play it out here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Everybody's kept it clean though this far, and Tim Powers working his way across the line, and the number 45 machine qualified in the 8th place spot here from Newark, New Jersey. Tim Power is complaining of a air pressure adjustment out the back half of the number 45 Chevy Camaro. He's saying they feel like maybe they left a wheel loose or something. He says he feels a vibration loading into each and every single corner here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. He's been griping and complaining to his guys. Look how tight he is up the racetrack through turns 3 and 4. Tim Powers has a problem inside of this Chevy Camaro. Meanwhile, Nicholas Maynard's gotten around Jonathan Smith here for the 2nd place spot. We'll miss this battle, and I apologize for that, but maybe Jonathan Smith setting up here for a green flag pit stop. We'll have to find out right here. We'll load the banking of turns 3 and 4. Maynard, whoa, outside safer barrier. Hello to the PPG Ford Mustang. They'll meet and make contact there. That'll slow up Nicholas Maynard from that back bumper of Holden Wheeler. Jonathan Smith, what the? Hold on to this race car here. Maybe he's burned up a little bit of Goodyear rubber inside of it, and maybe that's too much to handle here late on the long run. Excuse me. We're 33 laps into tonight's event, and we've been clean ever since. Holden Wheeler getting big time loose off the banking of turn 2. And that'll bring Nicholas Maynard right there to that back bumper, riding out the front nose of the kid of Nicholas Maynard. Can he roll back to the throttle, get back to the number 15 Powerade machine, and Jonathan Smith will call it quits and bring it on down the pit lane. Jonathan Smith was nowhere near complaining there till the end of the long run about the about the Goodyear rubber going away. Jonathan Smith says that these guys will just pack it up a little bit of adjustment here, trying to hold on to this race car. Hasn't been too hard, but he's going to have to do something different. He'll pull into his 2nd place box down on pit road. They'll check if the right side of the race car is going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing Fuel for Jonathan Smith. Here comes the race leader of Nicholas Maynard down pit road, and he'll bring another guy right there behind him. That's Colin Cole and Jerry Powers. He'll call it quit, as well as the Boogeyman and Bobby Kyle. So we'll have a green flag mixture coming out here on the pit lane. Nicholas Maynard, our pole sitter, he'll bring it down from what was the race lead there for just a moment after Jonathan Smith came down on the pit lane. Jonathan Smith will take his service, and he'll be on and off of pit road. Nicholas Maynard will pull down into his pit service. He'll have the first box here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It'll be 4 fresh Goodyear tires for the PPG machine, and you're on the pole here. You get the privilege of being able to see your guys wear it out here. John Michael Bryant coming down on the pit lane now, though, is Holden Wheeler. John Michael Bryant asking for a little bit of adjustment there. They'll give him that 4 Goodyear tires and a can of Sunoco Racing Fuel. Jerry Powers up and on and off of pit road. Holden Wheeler says the race car felt great there on the top side of the racetrack. Do not touch this race car. He'll pull into the 3rd place pit box on pit road. It'll be 4 fresh Goodyear tires and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing Fuel. Terry Hughes Jr. has cycled out here to the race lead on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Tim Powers pulls it down into the 7th place pit box on the Booty Scoot Racing channel's New Year's Bash for the Gen-6 Cup Series. 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing Fuel, and that'll be the same for the Outlaw, Tony Cook, that's bringing it down on the pit road for the 2nd place position. So that'll leave Terry Hughes Jr. now the only guy out on the racetrack currently who is yet to come down on the pit lane and service this number 81 Blue Def diesel exhaust fuel. If you didn't know, now you know. 81 Ford Mustang. He'll take another lap around the Charlotte Motor Speedway here. Terry Hughes Jr. been on the back half of so many finishes here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Second place 3 times in the Madness Racing League. He's looking to try to get it done here. And if he's going to do it, he's going to have to do it through the green flag pit cycle. Meanwhile, Holden Wheeler and Jonathan Smith come back off of pit road. And now they're back door-to-door racing. And Nicholas Maynard don't trail far right behind him. But to try to close the gap up here, this is going to be the battle for the race lead through the green flag pit cycle. Holden Wheeler and his guys get him on and off of pit road with a great stop there for the number 15 Power 8 Ford Mustang. He'll work his way around Terry Hughes Jr., who'll call it quits this lap around and bring it down on the pit lane. The Troy, Alabama driver complaining of a little bit of a tight condition there to begin the run, but it felt great on the long run. Terry Hughes Jr. says, we've been here before, guys. It's going to be a fuel mileage race. He's going to go long run style all night long. They're going to try to pack the full of Sunoco Racing fuel inside the Blue Def number 81. His guys will hop the wall, check up the right side of the race car. It's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel for the race leader. As Holden Wheeler works his way off turns 3 and 4, he will unlap himself, become the race leader with Jonathan Smith right behind him. Nicholas Maynard right there trailing in the tails. Behind him goes Colin Cole. And the fastest lap on the racetrack that last time will go to the pole sitter of Nicholas Maynard. He will run a 30.111, and looks like the race leader of Holden Wheeler, who was trying to run away from himself right there, will run a 30.17. So it's not off by much here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Green flag pit stops have fully been done here for the first time tonight. If we continue to keep it rolling and moving like we have here before, whoa, ladies and gentlemen, state your age, your name, your number. These 2 guys going at it, the old timers, Tony Cook and Bobby Kyle, battling it out here for positions through the green flag pit stops. This is the battle for the 8th place spot. Bobby Kyle, Tony Cook, 2 of the oldest guys in the entire league, battling it out here in Charlotte. Bobby Kyle and Tony Cook been sim racing longer than you've been alive. Been talking to these guys in the garage. Bobby Kyle says he continues to try to feed into this program each and every week, working out the shop in Honorsville, Georgia. Bobby Kyle picked up the win here in Season 1 in the Gen-6 Cup Series on the fuel mileage race. Again, folks, the 777 trying to get lucky here tonight and do the exact same thing, this time underneath the sun as the shade begins to work its way over the Turn 1 entrance here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Tony Cook, though, trying to pull away from Bobby Kyle there. He'll do just that. He's all over the back bumper, this number 81 of Terry Hughes Jr. And maybe we're seeing a big difference here in the Goodyear rubber here tonight. And how hard do you push it? It might be how much rubber and time you lose here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. But the battle for the race lead is absolutely not going anywhere. Holden Wheeler's going to have to fight, scratch, and claw to hold on for position. Colin Colt slowly eating into this back bumper, though, the kid of Nicholas Maynard. He works the banking through turns 3 and 4 in his PPG Team Penske Ford Mustang. Talking to Nicholas Maynard in the garage, and sitting on the pole is nothing normal is what he said here. That's what they were shooting for. They actually were able to grab that here tonight, grab the bonus points, added them to his total score. The 0-2 Team Penske development driver of Nicholas Maynard, 5-time winner here in the Madness Racing League. Set on the pole, he's led 5 laps here tonight. He's trying to work his way around and get back up here through the green flag pit cycle, but he is absolutely loose in touch to Jonathan Smith and Holden Wheeler, who has decided to get back upstairs and rip the outside of the racetrack wall in turns 3 and 4 and drive around the bumps. So maybe Holden Wheeler has found something different here tonight to play with, besides guys like Jonathan Smith and Nicholas Maynard and Colin Cole, who's been trying to shake and move and groove their way up through the field. Holden Wheeler rolls through turns 1 and 2 on the top side as well. The number 15 has brought something here tonight to play with at Charlotte, and he will not be denied 44 laps into tonight's event. Look at this battle right here coming through the banking of turns 3, heading off the exit of turn 4. Terry Hughes downstairs, Brian upstairs. Tony Cook looking to get that nose up and dirty here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. And 2 Carolina kids and Alabama kid. And whoa, contacts made there between the Boogeyman and Terry Hughes Jr. Not a spot going to be denied here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Terry Hughes Jr. running this thing off pure bald eagle piss and diesel exhaust fluid inside of this number 81 Ford Mustang. We appreciate all 17 of you tuned in live here for the New Year's Bash. Down on the bottom side of the racetrack goes Terry Hughes Jr. just not quite able to clear himself across the front nose of the boogeyman of John Michael Bryant, your mom's favorite driver. And I've been here all week, folks, chilling with the RV guys down there on the infield, cooking up some excellent steak dinners. Let me tell you something, here in North Carolina, they know how to get it done, and I'm not going to begin to tell you the amount of sets of titties and buttholes I have seen here in the great state of Charlotte, North Carolina. And now we got fast race cars here on a New Year's Eve. Everybody's absolutely shot, wasted, and ballad here. And depending on what time you're watching this race right now, on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, it's currently 11:51 p.m. Eastern time, and we're looking to hopefully shake about lap number 60, 65 here as the ball drops on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And you better believe it, we're going to count it down with you. I'm ready, ripping and roaring. We got race cars out on the track here in Charlotte. The ball getting ready to drop. Tons of great food in the infield. If you're not loving what you're seeing, grab your shit. Hit the road, boy. This is not what you want. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Madness Racing League live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Back down on the racetrack for another Madness Racing League. Fast and loud. Back racing here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, America's home for racing, and we gladly appreciate you guys sitting there through the fast and loud as I was able to grab a drink and whip my whistle to continue to flap this big fat mouth of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Kyle, Tony Cook, the two veterans continue to battle it out here in Charlotte. Climbing the ranking here at the America's home for racing. Bobby Kyle downstairs, Tony Cook outstairs. Tony Cook trying to cook up a storm. He'll come off the wall there. Chase Bobby Kyle down the racetrack. How will Bobby Kyle continue to play his role here on the back half of the place for the battle for the 7th place position? Tony Cook gets tight up the racetrack. Bobby Kyle plugs the hole underneath him. Makes sure he can't get a hole, and now Tony Cook's going to have to fight back as the boogeyman plugs the hole there for the 7th place spot. Live here, the battle continues at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Tony Cook will go back upstairs through turns 1 and 2. Looking to show you back up here the battle for the race lead. We're holding Wheeler setting sail right now, but it ain't over, folks, yet. We still got about another green flag pit stop, maybe 2, depending on how much Sunoco Racing fuel is left inside of these race cars. Bobby Kyle, John Michael Bryant, Tony Cook, the hottest thing on the racetrack right now. These guys just can't seem to get rid of each other. They got everybody's name and number tattooed here for race number 2 of a 12-race season. Not understanding exactly why and why these guys continue to battle it out here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll go ahead up and bring the remaining schedule for you folks here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Got a ton of guys piled in the field. Bang, ladies and gentlemen, 2 weeks from now, we're headed to the Bristol Motor Speedway, the world's fastest half mile for the last great Coliseum. Going to be 150 laps of absolute mayhem and chaos live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And I I love what I see. I want to race. Bang, bang, hush your mouth. Get your phone out. Take the screenshot now. You want to race here in the Madness Racing League. They offer free to join, free to race, Truck, Xfinity, and Gen-6 Cups. Make sure you go ahead and take a screenshot and scan the QR code currently on your screen right now. We'll get you loaded in here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel whenever they possibly can. Ladies and gentlemen, your house stinks, smell like absolute shit. Go check out the Gill Moose Cove Flicker and Fresh Scent-Based Candle Company in Edmond, South Carolina. And check out Kate Horton, the owner, maker, and artist, 864-909-9966. Back down here on the main broadcast cam, you're looking up here on the spotter stand where John Michael Bryant, Bobby Kyle battle it out here for the 7th place position. The battle cam is absolutely dissipated though from Tony Cook. He got absolutely tight there underneath the commercial break. Well, our brief advertisement there that we did for you guys. The Tony Cook machine slapped the outside safe for a barrier, and he's trying to work his way back up here to this battle between Bobby Kyle and John Michael Bryan. And underneath the fast and loud, I was listening into some of these drivers, and exactly what I said came true through the keys of the race. Heading through turns 1 and 2 where the shade is really starting to come over the turn now. It's starting to grip up the corner. Some of these guys are getting some excellent runs. Look how much Bobby Kyle is able to stay beside the boogeyman there all the way through turns 3 and 4. That is due to the momentum that he was able to keep his foot in the gas through turns 1 and 2. Does he elect to take the top side again, even though he has the position over the boogeyman? No, slow up traffic a little bit to John Michael Bryant. John Michael Bryant will chase it up the top side of the racetrack. They're getting a little bit tight there, but the boogeyman's going to try to hold on to this race car here and try to do everything possible to bring it home to the finish here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's New Year's Bash live for the Madness Racing League's Gen-6 Cup Series. This is what's going to be your battle for the race lead as we ride fly high with Billy the Blimp Driver. And we know we keep getting the questions. Billy the Blimp Driver, yes, we have to keep him up here. We put him down there, boots on the ground, and things get absolutely shit-faced, fucked, and screwed. Billy the Blimp Driver just can barely walk straight at times, so we keep him about 9,000 feet above the racetrack here, giving you a beautiful shot of the Charlotte Motor Speedway. The battle continues here through turns 1 and 2 between the Holden Wheeler machine and looks like going to be Jonathan Smith. Billy the Blimp Driver going to continue to show us all the action shots here tonight that we possibly need. Meanwhile, Colin Cole, what was supposed to be the winner 2 weeks ago, got disqualified for aggressive driving. Just got around the 0-2 of Nicholas Maynard. That was the battle for the 3rd place spot. Nicholas Maynard trying to save a little bit of a Goodyear rubber here and try to make something shake here on the long run. Colin Cole, his guys telling him in his ear they'll have no choice but to run it long here. Looks like these guys are going to run short. If my math is right, I went to public school. I don't know about anybody else, but if we had these guys, all of them pit before lap 34, that would tell me that's probably about 33, 34 laps in fuel. Yes, no, maybe. So, I mean, it's really depending here. And 30 plus 30, 60, 4 plus 4, 8. So that's 68 on our next pit stop, which is 6 laps from now. If my math is correct, we'll see how everybody continues to play it out here, though. However, I can say 62 laps consecutively ran here underneath the green flag condition live at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's really made for some action-packed racing through the green flag pit cycle. Meanwhile, Colin Cole has worked his way up 3 spots through this cycle. So has Terry Hughes Jr., who went backwards there in that Blue Death, number 81 Ford Mustang. Bobby Kyle has worked his way up 3 spots. He's gotten around Tony Cook here. He won the battle between the old-timers here tonight, and he's just worked around the boogeyman. Your mom's favorite driver here at Charlotte, working through the banking with turn 4. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're loving what you're seeing, don't want to head on over to the YouTube page yet, is hit that button to subscribe and press the notification button. No, yes, maybe. Make sure you're around 2 weeks, or not 2 weeks from now, but next week for race number 4 at the Daytona International Raceway for the 75-lapper for the Home Run Cafe TNA Truck Series live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. That'll be next Friday night. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go ahead and grab your ticket by heading on over to the YouTube page and pressing that subscribe button. We're back here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We're Holden Wheeler continues to dominate here at the America's home of racing. And I continue to tell you guys that this number 15 is running off Bald Eagle Piston Powerade, but something has gotten into Holden Wheeler tonight. He got around the kid of Nicholas Maynard, who was on the pole here tonight, and he has absolutely not looked back. He didn't even get challenged for the race lead by Nicholas Maynard. That may have been a mistake by the kid. Looks like Tim Powers, the lap traffic guy, will just move on out of the way. No, he'll play a little bit of traffic games here with the number 15. So the number 45 of Tim Powers going to try to blood, sweat, and tears here tonight to continue to stay on the lead lap, but it looks like I have to give it up to the race leader, Holden Wheeler, as they climb the banking through turns 1 and 2 here in Charlotte. Holden Wheeler sailed away from Jonathan Smith by about a 3-second lead. Colin Cole really starting to come to life here on the long run. This number 9 machine has gotten around a 0-2 of Nicholas Maynard and put a gap in between them. And the green flag pit cycle here is lap 68 was the number that I called, and no one's come down here on 67. So again, folks, 6-7, is that what the kids do these days? Whatever. The kids these days, you gotta stay off the internet, but here I am broadcasting to you a virtual race. So who am I to talk? But it's a brand new year. Happy New Year, everybody. Live here, 2026. It's going to be a banger of a year here for you guys if you're going to continue to tune in and watch all the races provided each and every single week from the drivers here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We would gladly appreciate it if you did. However, though, folks, if you have missed out, these guys aren't just out here racing for a video, a YouTube channel, whatever the case may be, a league. They are absolutely racing for something here tonight. A wooden engraved laser trophy made for some of these guys, and whoa, made for a pit stop is what I should say. Holy shit, I'll take the words right out of my mouth. Jonathan Smith from Goldsboro, North Carolina, the hometown guy, looking to make something shake here tonight. His guy's telling him to hold on to the race car here. We're going to do 4 brand new Goodyear rubber tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel. Send you back out there, need you to hold on big time. However, the pole sitter of Nicholas Maynard to pull down into his pit box. His guys will check up the right side of the race car. Looks like it's going to be 4 brand new Goodyear rubber tires and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel for the PPG Ford Mustang of Nicholas Maynard, the former pole sitter. They got to hurry up and drop the jack, and whoa! He just lost a little bit of time to Jonathan Smith. That's going to be a crazy one. Here comes Holden Wheeler. He'll come down to his 3rd place pit box down on pit lane. And Jerry Powers will bring his 5700cars.com Chevy Camaro, as well as it's Bobby Kyle, Holden Wheeler. And then we'll jack up the right side of the Powerade number 15 machine. Now on the left side, it's going to be 4 Goodyear tires, a winch adjustment up the back half of the number 15 of Holden Wheeler. They'll drop the jack, and he's on and off the pit road. Jerry Powers from Parker Ridge, New Jersey will make the trip down up here from north of HendrickCars.com. Will jump on board here if he's in the state of North Carolina. Hendrick Cars right down the road here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway's Hendrick Motorsports. Rick Hendrick will give him a race here tonight with a little bit of sponsorship money. The N777 Engine 4 machine of Bobby Kyle works his way down on and off the pit road, and Tim Powers says he feels like the engine has gone sour here tonight in this Chevy Camaro for the U.S. Coast Guard number 45. Colin Cole will call it quits off the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Whoa, a lock up the right front tire, trying to come down on the pit lane. The New Hampshire driver will come down here. It's going to be 4 tires, 2 sets of tires here tonight for these drivers. Yes, that is double confirmed here from the admin. The Boogeyman running part-time here on the Gorilla Line 23 machine here for the New Year's Bash. Tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, it looks like these guys are going to come down here, and they're going to take their final Goodyear sets here tonight. So the second time here tonight, it looks like Terry Hughes Jr. is going to redeem the race lead now. This time around through the green flag pit cycle, but unfortunately, guys like Jonathan Smith, who started the cycle, has gotten around Terry Hughes Jr. He's already unlapped himself here, the hometown driver. If he can continue to do what he's doing, hit off and consecutively, knock off burner lap time after burner lap time, he may have a chance to hold on to the race lead here through the green flag pit cycle. We'll see how things begin to shake out here. Jerry Powers works his way off of pit road as well, Nicholas Maynard trying to get around Terry Hughes Jr. now to unlap himself here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Terry Hughes Jr. looks like he'll pull over to the left, won't even cause a fight with the kid of Nicholas Maynard. And it looks like Nicholas Maynard will be back on the lead lap here through the green flag pit cycle. But don't get it twisted, folks. Terry Hughes Jr. leads them here in Charlotte. Tony Cook will call it quits from the second place position on the long run. The 33 machine said they're going to try to stretch it out as far as possible and see if they can't catch a caution flag here and save enough fuel, to get to the end here, as long as Tony Cook holds it together to pull it out in his 8th place pit box here. On the back it up just a tad bit. It's going to be 4 brand new tires and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel. They'll tell Tony to make sure he sits still till they pack it full and they slam on the back of the car and help him push it off of pit road. So Terry Hughes Jr. looks like he's finally going to call it quits here on lap number 75 and split the race almost evenly here for the Blue Death number 81 Ford Mustang here from Troy, Alabama. Terry Hughes Jr. turned around, calling Cole at the end, of last week's race, 2 weeks ago at the Kentucky Motor Speedway. He was penalized here tonight. He started at the tail end of the field. He forfeited his qualifying position. That's why he'll pull into the furthest far back pit stop position here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. His Blue Death number 81 guys will jack up the race car. It'll be 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel. Right now, Holden Wheeler will work off the banking of turn 2. He has snagged back the race lead here after already trying to work and hold on to his race car. He's going to have to do everything necessary, though, here tonight as Jonathan Smith has slowly cut into the back bumper of this race lead. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Powers trying to work his way back up through the field in the 5th place spot, And right on the tail end of him, he's got his father, Tim Powers, and this number 45 machine, and maybe a father-son duo trying to give each other a little bit of drafting help, trying to get them going here. And doesn't look like these two guys maybe took a set of tires. Looks like, if my calculation is right, Jerry Powers comes down on the pit lane, and he is taking Sunoco Racing fuel only. Jerry Powers is going to try to play a Hail Mary here tonight and pray for a caution flag, I'd imagine, where he's going to try to maybe come down another time, but I wouldn't imagine that he would lose another lap, and he just doesn't have the time made up with 16 seconds behind the race leader of Holden Wheeler. But the battle for the race lead is starting to shake up right here on your screen. Get up and move in, grab another beer, light another cigarette. Jonathan Smith all over the back bumper of Holden Wheeler, who's trying to come into the new year on a brand new win. 15 of Holden Wheeler. This is going to be lap number 64 led here tonight for the Powerade Ford Mustang, but it just looks like Jonathan Smith gets to that back bumper and the air just dies across the front nose of the Red Bull Blue Oval of Jonathan Smith, the number 13. Trying everything in his book here to try to run down the front half of the pack leader of Holden Wheeler. But Holden Wheeler has committed to that top side of the racetrack like Kyle Larson. And Tony Cook trying something different here on the long run. He's a lap down. He's got the freshest tires on the racetrack right now. Remember, folks, this guy's told him if he did everything perfect, they should time out here to come out and hopefully don't have to pit for a 3rd time. And listening to the radio right now with Nicholas Maynard over here on my ticker on the screen that gives me all my data here that fully pulls it up in front of your screen. The PPG Ford Mustang crew's eye says they may have not got this race car full enough to their liking, and Nicholas Maynard and them strategy has them 2 laps short as of right now. They're telling the Ford Mustang driver to hold on to it, and I may just be talking out the side of my ass. I have absolutely no clue, but I can listen to these radio, hear these drivers talking. You can't, so you can kiss my ass. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Cook trying to hold on through the pit cycle here, and if he can do it, it would be one hell of a call. The boogeyman gets around Tim Powers, the lap traffic guy there, John Michael Bryant, trying to hold on here for a decent finish tonight. This wasn't the race that he was looking for here through this green flag pit cycle. He's up to the 8th place spot, and John Michael Bryant running about 0.8 of a second slower than the front half of the pack. So Not sure exactly what's going on inside of that Ford Mustang. Maybe rolling the clutch, trying to save a little bit of fuel. Who knows? We're slowly approaching that 25 lap to go mark here in just a moment. How many of you guys have stuck around this year, and how many of you guys are actually going to change your ways? It's going to continue. Stop saying you're going to do it each and every single year. We change over to the brand new year. Oh, whoa, Nicholas Maynard back down on the pit lane, and we just heard and talked about Nicholas Maynard, him falling 2 laps short of the green flag cycle scheduled distance. So the kid of Nicholas Maynard looks like they'll bring it back down on the pit lane. This was tonight's pole sitter, so he's got the first pit box on pit lane. Nicholas Maynard will pull down into his pit box. We'll see what happens here to the 0-2. His Giles looks like he'll slowly grab off the wall with a lousy guy there. That look like it'll be a splash and go for Nicholas Maynard, and he'll go ahead and top off that number 02 Ford Mustang off of pit road. And the kid of Nicholas Maynard, we know now for sure, will be one of the guys that'll be good to go to the end here. He goes down pit road, and looks like less than 30 laps to go and only 34 laps to top it off. He'll be in the mix here. How many of these other guys, though, will have to come back down pit lane and make another stop here after coming, literally laps after the kid of Nicholas Maynard? Well, folks, we might be in a full-on fuel strategy race here tonight in Charlotte. Tony Cook needing to get himself unlapped here in Charlotte. He sees the battle for the race lead right in front of him. We're riding out the front nose of the Home Run Cafe number 33 machine of Tony Cook. He's elected to move to the middle side of the racetrack. Wait on the gas, and you hear him get back into it there. About midway through turns 3 and 4. He's slowly putting up a little bit of time here, running down these two guys, battling hard for the race lead. "25 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live here in Charlotte, North Carolina, in the great United States of America. Holden Wheeler has dialed in this number 15 Ford Mustang from Mooresville, North Carolina. The two North Carolina hometown drivers battling it out here for a win in Charlotte. 24 laps to go. We're going to take you back down on the racetrack for tonight's final Madness Racing League. Fast and loud. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. 20 laps remain here in the New Year's Bash, live here at the Gen-6 Cup Series for the Madness Racing League. And ladies and gentlemen, Tony Cook just got around the second place driver, Jonathan Smith. And if he could get around Holden Wheeler, get himself unlapped, Tony Cook might be in business laps here. I'm not very sure exactly where fuel number-wise some of these guys are. I mean, we are way, out from where they would have to pit for their third stop if necessary. We'll see, my lap about 90, about 102, which is in about 7 laps here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, which would leave them with about 8 or 9 laps to go. So how do you really play this if you're a crew chief? Jonathan Smith's guys will come down now with 19 laps remaining. His guys will come down on the pit lane. It'll be splash and go for the number 13 of Jonathan Smith, and he's on and off of pit road. So it looks like Jonathan Smith will play similar strategy to what the kid of Nicholas Maynard played. Nicholas Maynard here in this number 02 PPG Ford Mustang came down with 24 laps to go, trying to make something shake. So now we have Nicholas Maynard and what will be Jonathan Smith as they come back around here, both the lap down. So this will be a battle for position when they get up and moving. Colin Cole, though, in the second place spot behind Jonathan Smith. He'll be the guy racing Holden Wheeler here, possibly for the race win in the Madness Racing League Gen 6 Cup race here tonight in Charlotte. So I'm not very, like I said, entirely sure how this is going to shake out here on the fuel mileage-wise. It's going to be close. We know that. Just off the math that we were doing, 34 laps in Sunoco Racing fuel times 110. 34 times 2 will get you there. 34 times 3 will get you almost there. So, I think we're going to have something chaotic break out here if some of these guys don't have something maybe hidden up their sleeve here for some of these crew chiefs. But that's why they pay the crew chiefs the big bucks, and not me. Here comes Jerry Powers. His guys will call him down on the pit lane from Park Ridge, New Jersey. The number 57, HendrickCars.com Chevy Camaros ran great all night long. Just hasn't had the track position that he was looking for. This number 57 Lumar machine, and he'll pull down into it looks like going to be 5th pit box on the pit lane, and we'll see how things shake out. 4th box on pit lane. We'll see how things shake out here for the number 57. Remember, folks, we had speculated just exactly that. Jerry Powers has saved a set of Goodyear rubbers here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. He'll have 15 laps to try to make up the difference to go back around. And this could mean something, as we don't know exactly if some of these guys are going to be able to make it on some of the fuel mileage inside of their race cars. However, though, Bobby Kyle comes down on the pit lane from Arnersville, Georgia. It'll be a splash and go for the veteran of Bobby Kyle. The race leader's only on the back straightaway, so Bobby Kyle won't lose a lap here. We'll already lose the lap, but he won't lose a second one. And ladies and gentlemen, that leaves 4 guys on the lead lap. That's Holden Wheeler, Colin Cole in second, Terry Hughes working his way up through the pit cycle here. He's in the 3rd place spot. They're telling Terry Hughes Jr., we're riding on board with him right now, to come off the gas, float the clutch, and try to save enough fuel to get to the end here. Terry, you are marching your way forward right now. You got some of the better laps on the track. John Michael Bryan has played his way up through the strategies, 23 seconds off from the rest of the guys where he would battle for more positions. But your mom's favorite driver has got a favorite strategy here in Charlotte. Looks like 12 laps remaining here in the New Year's Bash. Holden Wheeler still the race leader. He's held onto it for a long time now. Wow, the lap traffic car, Tim Powers in the race wall there on the outside safer barrier through 3 and 4. This time around, this lap led for Holden Wheeler will be lap number 78 on the night for Holden Wheeler. He got around Nicholas Maynard, never looked back here in this number 15 Power Raid machine. Colin Cole's crew is telling him right now to save. Trying to hold on to the race car and save is no easy task, though, is what Colin Cole will come back and tell his crew chief. Terry Hughes Jr. battling all over the back end of this number 9 machine, trying to make something shake. Can he get around the number 9? But Terry Hughes Jr. trying to save some Sunoco Racing fuel himself. Ten laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live here, the America's home for racing. Holden Wheeler looking down and back up the racetrack right there. Not sure if he was faking left, faking right, and he's showing his hand. Look, he's going down on the pit lane. Holden Wheeler being gracious there to that lap car of Tim Powers. Well, will lock up the right front tire and bring it down on the pit lane. So Holden Wheeler not going to have enough Sunoco Racing fuel to bring it home here tonight. So if the leader doesn't have it, how many people behind him don't have it? And what does this mean for the pit cycle of Nicholas Maynard and Jonathan Smith? Holden Wheeler will pull into his third place pit box here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's going to be a splash and go only of Powerade Sunoco Racing fuel for the number 15 of Holden Wheeler. He's up and off of pit road. Colin Cole will have the race lead here, battling door to door with looks like going to be Terry Hughes Jr. 8 laps remain here on the New Year's Bash this time around. You're watching the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Strategy has absolutely thrown it all to hell here tonight. Grab your listening ears, grab your glasses. I'm going to explain it to you. Colin Cole, currently the race leader right now in this number 9 machine, battling with Terry Hughes Jr., the Blue Death Ford Mustang right behind him. This could be the battle for the win here tonight. Both of these drivers have been told by their crew chiefs to save. Try to hold on to every inch and ounce of Sunoco Racing fuel you have. Terry Hughes Jr. been on the back half of so many second place finishes here at Charlotte. What will he do to try to get around Colin Cole? Colin Cole 2 weeks ago, however, won the race at Kentucky, but was disqualified for aggressive driving with the very said driver he is battling right now in Terry Hughes Jr. Does Terry Hughes Jr. repay the favor here tonight at Charlotte, battling possibly for the race win here in the New Year's Bash in North Carolina? However, though, guys like John Michael Bryant trying to hold on to his race car. They're telling John Michael Bryant to coast. Listen. John Michael Bryant on the clutch, then dumping the gas back to it, trying to save every ounce of Sunoco Racing fuel inside of this number 23 machine, hoping and praying that Terry Hughes Jr. or Colin Cole can make contact with one another, caution something, maybe run out of Sunoco Racing fuel, and it could fall into the back pocket of John Michael Bryant. However, though, John Michael Bryant has cut that lead down to 15 seconds, located on your iRacing simulator ticker.com on the left side of your screen. It's going to be 4 laps to go here for Terry Hughes Jr. and Colin Cole battling it out here for the possible win in Charlotte. Colin Cole will elect to take the bottom side of the racetrack off the exit of turn 2. Terry Hughes Jr. will have one more chance to try to get him here through turns 3 and 4. And it looks like Terry Hughes Jr. is just trying to size him up here and pick a spot and really an opportunity, really pick a place on where he may want to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching in the fan cam seat here tonight at Charlotte, and you want to get your money's worth, find this seat right here in turn 1. 3 laps to go here in Charlotte, and it is anybody's ball game. Does Colin Cole have enough Sunoco Racing fuel to get it to the checkered flag? Does Terry Hughes Jr. have enough to get it to the checkered flag? Terry Hughes Jr. racing with a little bit of emotion on the back half of his shoulder after being made contact by Colin Cole 2 weeks ago. Does he repay the favor here tonight? 2 laps remain here in Charlotte. The Blue F number 81 of 81XI Racing will pull door to door here with Colin Cole with 2 laps to go. Working off the banking down the back straightaway, Terry Hughes Jr. will pull back into line, trying to save a little bit of Goodyear rubber. Both of these guys have drove here tonight 163 miles. You did not come this far here to run it and lose it on Sunoco Racing Fuel. White flag is in the air this time around, presented by AFLGlobal.com. Will Terry Hughes Jr. put the bumper to the back of the number 9 of Colin Cole, heading off the banking of turns 1 and 2, down the back straightaway for the final time here tonight. Terry Hughes Jr., Colin Cole will climb the banking through turns 3 and 4 for the final time here in Charlotte. Colin Cole will kick off the brand new year in victory lane as he will come across the line and he will win the New Year's Bash at Charlotte. Terry Hughes Jr., 200ths of a second there for second place live here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. John Michael Bryant trying to bring it on home across the line here. Fueling and sputtering. Does John Michael Bryant got enough? Yes, he'll bring home the third place spot. As the rest of the gang continues to work up the exit of turns 3 and 4, Holden Wheeler will get 4th, Tony Cook 5th. Nicholas Maynard will come across the line right there in the 6th place spot. And what should be the next car coming across the line will not come around. Bobby Kyle has already been elected the final car there. So it looks like Colin Cole here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel from Lincoln, New Hampshire is now going to go to find his way to victory lane here. He's going to have to be shown by most of the guys here. The number 81 of Terry Hughes Jr. will come there behind him. And Terry Hughes Jr., look at that, folks. 2 weeks ago, turns around Colin Cole in this number 9 Chevy Camaro. And look at this, Colin Cole out of Sunoco Racing Fuel here in Charlotte. 300 RPM on the dash tells me that the fuel pump is not even circulating. And Terry Hughes Jr., like the scene from the movie Cars, the number 81 Blue Death Machine will push the winner of Colin Cole, who redeems himself here tonight. He has technically won both races, but this one will count here for the points tonight. And Colin Cole goes to victory lane here in Charlotte. Ladies and gentlemen, Colin Cole goes to victory lane here for the New Year's Bash. We'll be back in just a moment for the post-race show and the driver interviews.
Go Miami.
Get me, won't forget the ones who betrayed me. Something for you, domination. Welcome you to my determination. Paranoia, out to get me, won't forget the ones who betrayed me. There's something for you, domination. Welcome you to my determination. Don't give a fuck what you think about it. I just as well kill you today. No more apologies, it's all I can take. No more regret for the choices that
welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, live here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for race number 2 of the Gen-6 Cup Series for the Madness Racing League. And a hell of a fuel mileage race here tonight found Colin Cole in victory lane as he will finally go this time for the second week in a row. But last time he was suspended and disqualified from the race win. This time it will count for the point system for the number 9 of Colin Cole. Looks like we got a TV reporter up here on the pit road, on the pit lane cam. Let's see if we can't get somebody down there and get a word from the race winner. Ladies and gentlemen, you have her copy? Go ahead.
Down here in victory lane at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Madness Racing League Gen-6 New Year's Bash race here on New Year's Eve night. And it looks like we are with the winner, the number 9, Colin Cole. Colin, kind of walk us through your win here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, running out of fuel coming across the line, able to hold on to it there through the strategy. Just great call up there on the pit box. Coming off last week where you won the race as well at Kentucky, but come to find out you had it taken away from you after some unnecessary roughness. But you're able here to redeem yourself tonight at Charlotte. Let's kind of talk about the race that you had here tonight and looking forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, last week was tough. I mean, that was just uncalled for. But tonight, with about like 20 to go, I was able to save enough fuel to get to the finish there. But when the O2 went by me and we pitted, I was like, well, I was last to pit on the previous cycle, so I'm going to try and stretch it.
He'll stretch it all the way to victory lane. Colin Cole will take the number 9 here and grab the first win of the year for him and his race team. We'll scoot down here to the second place position. Terry Hughes Jr. Terry, got to walk us through this one, but another second place finish, here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, side by side with about 2-3 laps to go. Looks like it was going to be a close one. Just kind of talk us through what happened there on the pit box and what happened inside of the race car.
Oh, man, this place is eluding the hell out of me. I mean, through everything we had last race, we knew we were starting in the back with a couple of penalties, which was fine with us. These cars are a lot more strategy than just going flat out. So we knew we were going to try to do a long run with these stops so we wouldn't have to pit a third time. And then we ended up finishing with, 2 gallons of fuel still left in the tank. So I feel like I left something out there to be able to win the race. But I just got to thank Engine 4 Coffee, KnappDaddyRacing, 811 Racing. Man, we out here trying to get these wins, and they just eluding us, for me at least anyway. But there in turn 4, it just ended up blowing a right front from pushing it a little too hard, trying to get around Colin. If I knew he was so close on gas, man, I would have just backed off a couple more laps, and then I could have probably stole that. But it is what it is, man. We got the biggest mover of the race, and I think we got the fastest lap, I think is what the crew chief was telling me a while ago. So there's a couple more points that we can add, but good race with Colin. I'm glad he redeemed himself from the last time we raced, and I was able to push him back around the track, kind of make up for what we did. But great race. Shout out to everybody out here. That race is so clean. I did not expect this to go green the whole way.
And that's the driver, the number 81 of Terry Hughes Jr. He'll bring home the second place spot here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll scoot down here to the third place finisher, driver, the number 23, John Michael Bryant. John, you'll come in here part-time tonight as you're able to schedule a free day. You'll dust off the Gen-6 car and bring it out here to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Strategy was on your side here tonight. You'll round out a top 3 podium position. Just kind of walk us through what happened on the pit box after, looks like you maybe got into something earlier, got shuffled back throughout the pack.
Yeah, first off, thanks to the folks at the Gorilla Mine for allowing us to put this car on track tonight. Just started the race off. We were plowing tight the whole race, about blew the right front off, so we had to back off a little bit. Then that second run after the first pit stop was just trying to manage the tires, have a little bit less so we could run a little bit longer instead of pitting with 5 to go in the tank. Then that last run, we just was able to just save just enough. I mean, it cut off on me after I crossed the line. So, congratulations to Colin, and glad we was able to get out here tonight. And, maybe we'll be back out here some other time. Don't know yet.
Strategy was on the great hand of the number 23 of John Michael Bryant, who'll close out his year literally at the 2025 year coming to an end in the next couple hours with the podium finish here in the Madness Racing League Gen-6 Cup Series race. We'll scoot down here to the 6th place finisher, driver the number 02 Ford Mustang of Nicholas Maynard. Nick, kind of walk us through your race here tonight at Charlotte, sitting on the pole in the second Gen-6 Cup race on the season. Just kind of walk us through what happened. Yeah, it was a great race here tonight at Charlotte, a hometown track as we would call it, being so close. To sit on the pole, was able to lay it out there, had a great setup, just can't take everybody back at the shop, Team Penske development team. That's everybody back at PPG, Body Armor, Wabash, all the great guys back at Ford. We had a great car here tonight. We tried a little something different on strategy. We knew they were going to have to pit for fuel again after we took those last sets of green flag pit stop cycles, and I just wanted to come down early. But when I did it, I wanted to be really early so I can make sure I can make the ground up. So I came about 20 laps to go when I came down to top off some fuel, trying to it was more than 20 laps. It was probably about 24, 25 laps. We came down and we tried to make up the position. Got all the way back up to fifth there. Just looks like we had a couple of guys just running on fumes, and if they would have ran out, probably could have went our way here behind Tony or Terry. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll scoot down here to the number 02 and appreciate him doing a interview. We'll drive over to the number 33 of Tony Cook. Tony, kind of walk us through your race here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Again, the topic always is with the Tony Cook crew and you guys coming out here to the cookie cutter racetracks. They kind of blend well with your driving style. Another top 5 here in the Gen-6 Cup Series. Kind of walk us through your race here tonight and the strategy of on top of the box.
Well, first, congratulations to the field for such a clean race. That was really a good race. Congratulations to all the top 5 guys. Yeah, we had a good race tonight. I was running with Terry there for a long time, and I think we had the right strategy going, but I hit the wall early and got some wheel damage and went in the pits. Pit crew said it was going to take 2 minutes to fix the damage, so I just left. And so it was a mother to drive the last half of the race, but pulled top 5 out of it with strategy, so we are happy with the finish, and like I say, congratulations to everybody in the field for such a clean race. And thank you for overseeing the thing.
And that's the driver number 33 of Tony Cook. He'll bring home a top 5 position here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll throw it back up to the booth here for the New Year's Bash as the countdown continues to the ball drops.
Ladies and gentlemen, up here in the booth where we have just wrapped up the driver interview parts of the thing here. And ladies and gentlemen, give us one moment. We'll be back in just a second with a quick commercial break. Get all of our post-race notes ready to go. We'll have the post-race show. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, live here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway in Charlotte, North Carolina. You're up here in the sweet spot on the pit lane, and some of these guys have had way too many beers here this evening. They probably don't need any. Look at this lady right here. She is absolutely leaning, and it was one hell of a race that started off in the qualifying session that seen the kid of Nicholas Maynard on the pole here tonight from Welford, South Carolina. He'll score those bonus points and add them to his total score. Moving on over here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, where we had one hell of a race. Green flag to checkered flag. 0 cautions here tonight. This is one hell of a group that we had here. Playing respectfully clean here tonight. Colin Cole wins it, though, when it comes to the New Year's Bash live here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. Terry Hughes Jr., if he had enough money for every time he's gotten second place here in Charlotte, he wouldn't even play anymore. He'd be a rich MFer. The Troy, Alabama driver brings home the second place spot here tonight. He had enough Sunoco Racing fuel, just didn't have enough Goodyear rubber to close the deal. He will take home, though, the hard charging award here tonight, advancing 7 spots from where he started. The boogeyman, John Michael Bryan, will bring home the 3rd place spot here tonight in the 23 J Money Motorsports Ford Mustang. Rounds out the final podium spot here tonight. Holden Wheeler, the number 15 Ford Mustang, rounds out the 4th place position here tonight. He at least the most laps here tonight, so he'll lead with that bonus point added. His total score of plus 10 points for the most laps led here tonight. Tony Cook keeps rolling through the Madness Racing League here in each and every single series. He almost had the dub at the Pocono Raceway in the Xfinity Series this past weekend, and he rolls out here Wednesday night in the Gen 6 Cup Series and almost has the strategy to bring it home here tonight in Charlotte. Nicholas Maynard sits on the pole here tonight and needed those bonus points added to his total score. Led 5 laps here tonight. Holden Wheeler gets around him and he never sees him again. Nicholas Maynard trying to make something shake through the pit cycle. He'll bring home the 6th place position here tonight. Bobby Kyle looking to go back-to-back here in the Gen 6 Cup Series at the Charlotte Motor Speedway on wins. The Honorville, Georgia driver battled door-to-door there with Tony Cook. It was the battle of the OG O-timers. Door-to-door, side-by-side, Tony Cook, Bobby Kyle, and not a bumper was laid to one another. That's how you do it here in the Madness Racing League. Bobby Kyle with a P7 spot here tonight. Jerry Powers, the Notre Dame fan from Park Ridge, New Jersey, Season 2 Total Nonstop Action Truck Series champion here in the Madness Racing League, brings home the 8th place position. Didn't really calculate the pit strategy there. They were hoping and praying for a caution flag here tonight from the Rush Motorsports number 57 HendrickCars.com machine. But it looks like he'll grab the 8th place spot here tonight, finish the lap down. Like father, like son, Tim Powers right behind his son, Jerry Powers, trying to make his way up through the field there on the cycle. And through the pit strategy call, Tim Powers had a sour cylinder. And the number 45 machine was able to shake home a 9th place position. Jonathan Smith running part-time here in the Madness Racing League Gen 6 Cup Series. Driving this number 13 Red Bull Ford machine here tonight. He'll finish 5 laps down. Not very sure where things went wrong here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel 4. Jonathan Smith, not sure if he maybe had a trouble there after that last green flag pit cycle. Jonathan Smith running part-time. He could have maybe just went ahead and moved out of the way for the majority of these guys. However, though, the KnappDaddy Racing driver will bring home the top 10 spot here tonight. Carter Jackson, fire inside of the cockpit in the garage area. Carter Jackson not able to climb out of the race car in time. Severe burns to his left leg. Carter Jackson was airlifted here tonight from the Charlotte Motor Speedway and taken back to Kateka to his hometown to be re-evaluated for his burns. He'll finish 110 laps down here tonight, and he'll snag the 11th place position. Kevin Tankos as well as Ty Robertson will snag the 12th and 13th place spots here, both being awarded the same amount of points for their start in parts. Ladies and gentlemen, we gladly appreciate everybody that tuned in here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel's Madness Racing League Gen 6 Cup Series, Season 3, Race Number 2, live here at America's home of racing. Looking at the water tower off the exit of Turn 2. Got some of the suites down here by Victory Lane. Guys are coming in here to get cool here after a hot day of racing. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and remind you 2 weeks from now, headed on over to the Bristol Motor Speedway. As you look at the water tower back here in the background, the Bristol Motor Speedway, 150 laps. Then we'll have our first annual Watkins Glen road course race here for the Gen 6 Cup Series. And then we're headed to Indy Coast. So a couple crown jewel races remain here in the Madness Racing League, and hopefully everybody can continue to hold their shit together here. Great race here tonight, caution-free for the New Year's Bash, and hopefully that's a treat of what's getting ready to come here in the next year. 2026 is here, folks. So is the Madness Racing League. We will not go anywhere. More action-packed racing come here, in the following weeks. Your next broadcast will be next Monday night for the I-85 Asphalt Series Wheeling Modified Division Playoff Race number 1 live at the Irwindale Speedway. We'll catch you then.